You're back again for another tale? Good. It's time you knew the whole story. I'll tell it piece by piece. This part is about the next member of the clan of the cursed animals, and why I find out more about their work. I had yet another Animal Jam account by now, and I was extra careful not to get into anything unusual. I hid from being known. I even had to hide from the friends who knew about my little events. I did everything in my power to stay away from the CCA. Rares had come out on that new Eagle adventure, so for me, Rares didn't matter anymore. I was getting more and more bored of Animal Jam now without the drive to get certain rare items, because now all you had to do was continuously play that Eagle adventure, and even that raised suspicions with me, so after a while I stood clear from the even adventures. My drive to play adventures was blocked by paranoia of meeting those creeps again. I was beginning to be trapped by my fear of the CCA. I didn't know their power, and I didn't know what they wanted with me. Yet, even with my drastic measures, they still found me. I was in my den, decorating it to my new wishes. I was beginning to doubt my encounters had ever even happened, but those doubts were quickly quelled when my screen went black. By now I knew the sign. It was them, yet again, and I started to panic. My animal ended up in a large field of purple grass and black flowers, and there was dried bloodstains and splatters around her. "Leave me alone! This is harassment!" I typed out, but there was no one there. Yet. I took another moment to take in my horrifying surroundings, saw dead, rotting corpses of long-since-dead animals. Flies were flying around the dead bodies, and there was a sick, brownish-yellowish fluid leaking from some of them. I wanted to hurl. And other patches of dried blood were complete skeletons. The dried blood around these were as a brown color, saying that these were here for a long, long time. I cringed. Is this where all animals end up in the end? I looked at each body carefully. Rabbits, tigers, all of the animals available, except for two. The wolf and Arctic wolf. There wasn't a corpse to be seen of them. That made me wonder. Am I going to meet the CCA's wolf now? I typed out. A swift laughter ran out around the area. Quite right, Derposaurus Rex. Although in this account you are... The voice was less of something I think would come out of a CCA member's mouth, but it still gave me the shivers. Never mind. Your username does not concern me or the CCA. The figure, a wolf, stepped out into my view, leaving blood-red footprints behind him. Okay, the lonely rabbit and the eyeless fox couldn't match up to this one. My jaw dropped and my eyes widened at the animal in front of me. The wolf was a silver with black swirls and regular deep blue eyes, but coming from its back was a sharp, large knife. Dried blood was all over his fur, and there was new, fresh blood glaring on top. I wanted to scream. Who knew Animal Jam could be such a horrific place? I am the stabbed wolf. I brought you here to my home to show you what we've done, what the process is. You see all these animals lying here? He moved his tail in a pointing motion. I gulped. Yes, I typed. These are all the animals we killed for the phantoms. Remember this one? He pointed to a rotting fox body. It was the fox I had been killed by, the eyeless fox. I get it. The eyeless fox lures them in. The lonely rabbit takes what it wants, and you keep them here in your home, I hissed. You're all sick, all three of you. Three? The stabbed wolf asked. Oh no, I am not the last of the clan of the cursed animals, he said, a sick grin stretching his muzzle out. I growled. So why me? Why am I so important? The stabbed wolf sighed. Such nagging. Fine, I'll tell. He took a breath. Out of all the people we've taken animals from and killed, only you have returned to Animal Jam. Only you have the courage to help us in our war, he said. I won't join you. I said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. I'm not joining you. All I wanted was a normal time on this site, but you've ruined it with your constant visits, I typed. Then it seemed you are a cursed animal as well, the stabbed wolf said smugly. I roared. No! And with that, my animal lunged at the crazy wolf and clawed at him. The sad wolf roared and loudly shook my animal off. Then he began to grow in size, and he wrapped his tail around the knife protruding from his back, pulling it out and holding it at me, ignoring the eruption of new blood flowing from his back and splattering to the ground. You are still not ready. We will keep at you until you are. His voice deepened as he grew in size of an real-life horse, his eyes narrowing and his lips were drawn black in a full snarl. I watched as the intense battle between my animal and the stabbed wolf went on before my eyes. Silently willed for my animal to live, but I lost hope as the battle drew on and she was beginning to lose life force. Finally, after a long and fierce battle, my animal fell to the ground, covered in cuts that were bleeding. She struggled to breathe as the stabbed wolf crept up to her, his rage radiating off his body in a purple mist that swayed like tentacles. "You fought well, my poor animal," I whispered to the screen. "You are improving, you know. Maybe you will be ready soon," he said to my dying animal. "I still have questions for you." "No more will be revealed to you now. He won't allow it," the stabbed wolf said. "Who, the eyeless fox? He's your leader, right?" The stabbed wolf threw his head back in uproarious laughter. "The eyeless fox? Our leader? No, he was only the beginning, my dear. You have worse yet to come, but for now you will sleep in my home. They will enjoy the new company," he hissed, talking about the rotting corpses all around. He brought up his tail, the knife aimed downwards at my animal's neck, as he plunged it downward with such a force that when it sliced through my animal's cooling flesh, I heard a sickening crack as the neck bones shattered and the knife went right through. My animal's head fell still, her eyes glazed over, and the stabbed wolf wrenched the knife from her and stuck it back in his back, and the constant bleeding slowed. Then he turned to the screen. He turned to me. "Unless you join us, we will keep on ruining your Animal Jam life again and again, body after body, until you finally break. How many innocent lives will die because of your stupidity?" He hissed up at me. "For my sake and Jamar's, I won't help you start a war," I shouted at the screen in anger. "Then your accounts will continue to die over and over. Don't think about quitting Animal Jam for good. You've been learning forever. You cannot escape us," he replied. Then he once again took his knife in his tail, then threw it right at me through the screen. I yelped as my screen suddenly cracked and the computer went dead. I whimpered. This was far worse than I thought. These animals had a living consciousness inside this game, and if they could do damage in the real world, who knows what they could do. I gulped and prayed it for all to be over soon.